There's also a very important piece in terms of capacity and choosing the right metrics in order to be able to track whether we have the right capacity within the business to be able to deliver the project. So in the Agile model, this is defined in units such as team sprints or story points, rather than just simply having a number of full-time employees available to move within projects as and when necessary. So it's always important to choose the right data to be able to track how a portfolio of project is performing. And this should go beyond the traditional factors like scope, schedule, and budget. So for example, depending on your field or industry, metrics might include customer-focused measurements, such as how customers are responding to a project, to a product, and the productivity metrics such as the future lifecycle time and things like that, just to be able to determine whether it's worth the investment or not. Because we all know that when we have competing projects, most of the time it's not having the right resources or the right level of people or number of people that we need to work on a particular initiative. Hence, there's no predictability as to how long it would take or how much work is involved, because we've lacked that visibility in terms of having the right people within the right teams to be able to deliver it. Another one would be governance and funding. So providing strong leadership, the portfolio represents a significant change from the way things have been done in the past. So it's mostly going to require buy-in from the business units whose funding and projects will be impacted in the process. But with the backing of senior management, the portfolio initiative typically is spearheaded by the organization. And this would be the support that you get from senior leadership, but also going back to having a level of structure or governance in the way in which projects or products are being fed into the system, and what in determining what is being done in order to be able to achieve these objectives. So the portfolio also enables cross collaboration within teams and to make decisions on whether projects are delivering as projected, which is where identifying projects that are falling behind and the ones that should be given a higher priority. And this should also be as part of the portfolio monitoring and confirming these determinations to be able to communicate that and increase that visibility and communication. Lastly, I just thought I'd throw in a few benefits of managing a project or managing a portfolio in that way. So the highest value work is rewarded, as a recap, and then just recapping on what we've been saying. So the highest value of work is awarded to the higher priority project based on current business needs and available resources, and the scoring is done on a rolling basis. The company would continue to prioritize the current backlog of projects and improve agility to respond to market forces and changes in strategy. There's also a clear line of project ownership at all levels of the organization, because each portfolio would have similar projects working on each one to be able to achieve the strategic objective, which would be owned by a member of the senior leadership team. So every area within that project is contributing to achieving that objective, and where one of the projects don't seem to be delivering or need to be stopped for whatever reason, there would be a justified reason as to why it hasn't worked and why it needs to be stopped, because it creates that visibility. And it also helps the organization to maintain control in a better way, because the visibility into how people are being used within the organization, but how resources are spread across projects within the organization. And then the projects if a project is underperforming, it could be identified very, very quickly, and there would be control over whether they should continue to spend more time fixing it or stop it and move on, or looking at a way in which productivity can be enhanced. Having projects being continuously prioritized means that there is always a way in which the company can kind of be able to stay relevant and look into ways in which they could be able to improve in terms of their delivery or in terms of their customer needs. And for larger projects, providing funding for initial design or proof of concept is easy, because it creates that visibility of whether we need to fully commit or whether we just need to be able to do a proof of concept to know whether the solution would work or whether it wouldn't work at all and we'll be wasting time investing into it. These are some of the benefits that I just pulled out. There's some more that we can talk to depending on where we get to the conversation, what questions arise after this. But that's the end, guys. Thank you so much, and happy to take some questions.